Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasradasham Tattvamasya Nilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sargurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. Thanks for joining me again today. Today has an interesting title. Take Sanyas and cut the fluff. Living in the space of Sanyas is cutting the fluff out of your life. How I can say this? Because as a sannyasi, you're further and further clearing out the old identities. Those are the parts that are not you anyway. The way you view yourself and you think of yourself, it is not who you are. You are Sadashiva. You are the conscious energy, the cosmic energy that lives inside of you. And all you need to do is open up more and more to allow Sadashiva to enter and work through you. Imagine what magic can happen. So as a sannyasi, you're dropping all of those old identities. Those are the identities that you carry around with you. Those are typically the identities that are of ego, that keep you stuck, that keep you blind to expansion and to opening up to the cosmic energy, opening up your heart, opening up your inner space for those things to come through, having that trust in the universe. All of those things are being blocked by your identity. Oftentimes, our identity is lower than what we project outside. For a moment, if you sit for maybe 5 minutes and you write down all of the thoughts that just pop into your head, see what's there. That'll give you an interesting perspective on what kind of words you're giving yourself without even you knowing it. I find a lot of times people call themselves names out loud. Like, let's say they get upset or mad, or they'll be like, that was stupid, or oh, I'm such an idiot, why did I say that? You know, so many things we say and we don't realize it. But the more and more we're calling ourselves an idiot, we're really believing that. And the cosmos is hearing those things. So as a sannyasi, you're more and more aware of what you say to yourself, to others, and especially of yourself, because you're living with that. You're living with yourself. And when you're carrying that lower identity without even knowing it, that's how actually things don't manifest in your life. That's how you keep from expanding in your life, because you're blocking yourself. Swamiji talks about how we don't get what we desire, we get what we believe. You know, so if you're thinking that you want wealth, because we always use wealth as the biggest example, because most people want to be rich or healthy. So let's use the example of health. You want to be healthy and strong. And you keep saying you want to be healthy and strong, healthy and strong. But then you keep making the wrong choices about your diet, or you don't take that extra step to work out or to do something that's good for you health-wise. So we get stuck in that rut, right? We want to do something for ourselves and we want to be healthy, but yet we don't make that change. It's a kind of a hypocrisy that we're living. But as a sannyasi, you don't have room for all of that. Because then let me tell you, if you continue to carry on with your hypocrisies or your SDHD, you're going to get nailed, because basically that is the job of Swamiji. He's there to remove those identities from us in various different ways. It's unique to each person. It's unique to each person how he does that. But whatever, usually whatever you're most, prone to, let's say, or whatever is your personality, or whatever you really love most, sometimes that is the exact thing that you will get hammered with. So that you wake up. It's to shake you and wake you up, because you're actually running with these lower identities that cause you to shrink and to say no to life. And we're actually big beings. We're actually powerful, amazing beings. But when we hold on to those lower identities, we can never reach that higher and higher space. So that's the job of a guru, of a master, of Swamiji, is to clear those things out of us. So again and again, the more we hold on to those hypocrisies, the more we hold on to that SDHD, the more we're going to get hit with situations that make us feel that way. So eventually, again, we'll wake up and understand what's going on. So that's been happening to me for a while, I'm going to say. Because for various reasons, either because of my environmental surroundings, because of the fact that, let's say, my family, life was kind of that way, or the work environment that I had. It was actually funny to talk about how a loser you are. Like it was funny. Like these guys would come and tell their stories about what stupid things they did, over the weekend, and that was funny. But actually, they're the biggest idiots in the world because they're totally hurting themselves on a conscious level with all the drinking they've done and all the crap they put in their body. And I can't say I was innocent of that because I also did similar things. But it's to boast about that. It was the funnest thing ever, So society supports that. Oh yeah, put your arm around me and let's talk about the trying time we had and go have a beer on Friday night. It's supported by society. So whether it's by your environment that you live in, like the neighborhood you live in, say, or the people you surround yourself with, or your family, or your job, all of that supports that lifestyle, the lifestyle that you're living. And so unfortunately, mostly in society, it doesn't support that higher state of expansion. It supports keeping you in that lower state. And every time you boast about something you did that was stupid, or, no matter how funny it is, it's something that's harming your consciousness. So the more you do that, the more you're perpetuating that identity inside of you. So as a sannyasi, you have to be ferocious, because otherwise you won't be able to make it with yourself in life. Because expanding and living powerfully is so important. It's actually so much healing has happened to me since I keep on getting ferocious with myself and making the decision. When something happens, instead of going into your typical powerlessness, you're getting upset or wanting to complain about it, think, what can I do to change my cognition about the situation? No matter what it is, let me find one thing that I can do to at least take action towards solving that problem, even if it's something small. Because it's usually those little things that get us. All those little things usually add up. Usually when some big problem comes, usually that, it stands out a mile away, so it's coming or whatever, and maybe sometimes those even seem easier. But it's those little reactions to things in life that add up. So by starting to change how we view those things, saying, I'm going to make a positive change no matter what happens. Even if you're in a rush and you spill something, like how many times lately I've boiled the milk and I've turned away for 1 second and the thing's boiling over. In the past, I might have had a spaz attack, like, oh my God, now I got to clean this up, And I'm like, all right, well, let me find something to clean it with. And it could be as simple as that, but the way we react towards things, that action and reaction, two different things, right? So how we react can be so powerful, So take action from the right perspective, from a powerful space. Then you actually don't have a reaction, because the reaction is an emotional thing, right? But if you just calmly look at a situation, see immediately what you can do, and don't put yourself in an emotional trauma. Even if it seems small, it's still a trauma and it's still getting to you. So being a sannyasi, you have to be ferocious. And because you're continuously, like I said, getting bombarded, Swamiji is not going to let you live in a cozy little cave or mansion or anything cozy. He's going to continue to pound you until you get out of it, because he wants everybody to be powerful. He wants everybody to be like him, to be one with him, to manifest powers of Sadashiva, and to be strong, confident, powerful. That is what he wants for us. And I notice how amazing from where I started, because sometimes I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, to be honest. I don't. There's some days, and not even days anymore. Sometimes I have a couple hours where I just feel like, oh my God, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But when I really think about it, and the fact that when I look back, it was only 1 or 2 hours maximum that I was maybe going through something, and then I get out of it, because I've already made that declaration. I'm going to continue to be ferocious and get out of it. No matter how many times it comes back, I don't care. Because the more you do it and beat it, so to speak, by making that declaration, I am a powerful being. I am Sadashiva. Swamiji is with me. Whatever things you could say. You just make that decision and you don't go down that little path of dwelling and getting emotional and getting down that whole road. It does you no good. So, being a sannyasi is all about that. And it's really the quick way for getting into oneness, into enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. We're calling it Advaitic space, the space of oneness, Shaktipada, Sadashivatva, all different things. But it really means getting in tune with your being, with the cosmos. And being a sannyasi, that's what it's about. And it's quick, because I'm telling you all the things that I've been through with my own crap, I mean, I don't know. I think it's definitely not for the weak. I will say that. You have to have determination. And maybe it's easy for other people. I don't know. But I see a lot of people sometimes have a hard time with it. But I'm telling you, it's so worth it. How much I can look back and see how I was. I mean, it's amazing. I'm completely not the same person at all. And I am so grateful to Swamiji. There's some things that I've carried my whole life. And yeah, there's some of those little parts that I still carry and I'm working through. And maybe sometimes that's why I still feel like the same old person. But all the things that I do, I mean, I'm living in India. Right now I'm living in some branch adina that's getting built up. It's going to be a huge adina. And it's an amazing energy field here. But I mean, all kinds of things happen and all kinds of people are around. And before, I don't know how I would have handled any of it. But now it's just like, okay, I'm here. Swamiji put me here. These are his people. This is his land. I have to take responsibility for it. Because there's no way I can not to say I'm perfect, but you can't support your low mood, or you can't go into some depression, or you have to put everything else ahead of you. And it's a process, because sometimes you want to just be upset, or, and I can't say sometimes, I don't get a little cranky for a few minutes. But in general, I mean, I really like working with everybody, and every day is a new experience, and I'm learning a lot about how things are run, and just feeling that responsibilism, it's Swamiji's place, and I have to maintain the integrity as much as I can, and maintain that space, and make myself more and more integrated to that, and to him, and to his mission, and putting all of those things ahead of what I might want. And it's really an amazing experience, because in that is kind of a selflessness that you start to develop, which is also dropping the identities and dropping the ego. So it's a practice done in many of the Eastern religions. But Swamiji, the way he does it so beautifully, he puts us in situations so that we're doing something. So we're keeping occupied, It's not like we're just sitting around meditating and doing some social service. We're actually doing some real work, so to speak. And people are getting helped and benefited, and communities are getting built, and energy centers are there for people to come and enjoy. So he's putting us into those things to also rub up on other people, to draw out those things that make us feel powerless and complete with it, and move on and be strong. So being a sannyasi is amazing. So anyway, and it's just, being part of Swamiji's crew is, a blessing. It really is. Swamiji is, anyway, he's special, that's for sure. So anyway, thanks again for watching and listening today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Nityananda.